Happy Friday, last day before spring break. As always, answer your PDN questions here. Pause the video and unpause the video when you're ready to go through some answers. Okay, question number 1. It says, Joseph was testing out a hand soap. He put 25 different germ cells in a petri dish, found the soap killed 22 of the germs. What percent of the germs did the soap kill? Weird time to be talking about germs. PDN, number 1. We have to decide which is the part and which is the total. We know there were 25 total germs. We know that he killed 22 of the germs. We want to turn it into a percent, which is always out of 100. We know that 25 times 4 is 100, so 22 times 4 gives us 88, which means he killed 88% of the germs. Number 2. Marshall is playing a video game, is on level 14. There are 50 levels in the game. What percent does he have left? Part over total. We know that the part is 14 and that there's a total of 50 levels times 100 gives us to 28. The answer is not 28. We have to be really careful on this one because if he's on level 14, that means he's finished 14, but the question asks us what he has left. So he's finished 28% of the game. So what does he have left? We'd have to do 100 minus 28, and we would get 72. So he has 72% of the levels left. Okay, make sure we're reading the question carefully so we're not just picking any old numbers and putting them in our answer. We want to make sure we're actually answering the question. Today we're going to do another type of percent problem. We're still going to be using part over total equals percent over 100. What's different today is that yesterday we were given the part and the total and we had to find the percent. Today we're going to be given the part, we don't know the total, and we're going to have to use the percent to find the total. So it says Emily sent 28 text messages in 1 hour. That's 20% of the text messages she sent. How many did she send yesterday? As we're doing this example, we know that we start all problems, all percent problems with part over total. We know that she sent 28 texts in 1 hour, but that's only part of the text that she sent. We don't know how many total texts she sent. That's what we're trying to figure out. We also know that 28 texts was 20% out of the amount that she sold. So now we have to figure out this equation. Okay. I'm going to start on the right because it has both numbers. I'm going to start on the top because it has both numbers. What do I do to 20 get to 28? I can't, so the next step is simplify. I'm actually not going to simplify this all the way because when I get here, I see that 2 times 14 is 28, so 10 times 14 is going to give me my final answer. I could have simplified this down to 1 over 5, and then I could have done 5 over 28, but that's a little extra work for me because 5 over 28, I actually have to write down that problem, where 10 times 14 I can do in my head. So my final answer is 140 total texts. Make sure you're writing that on your document as well. For number 2, it says 40% of students participated in sports, 48 students participated in sports. How many students are in the school? Again, we're part over total. We do not know the total number of students, but we know that the part is 48. We also know that that's 40%, and our percents always go over 100. Just like before, I'm not going to simplify this all the way. I'm just going to start with the 4. What do I do to 4 to get to 48? I times it by 12. So what am I going to do to 12 to get to x? What do I do to 10 to get to x? I'm going to times it by 12. So x equals 120 total students. On all our questions today, we're going to be looking for the total. Okay? Go ahead and scroll down to your problem set. You have 5 questions to do. Pause your video. Unpause your video when you're ready to check your answers. Okay, welcome back. Michaela is hiking on a camping trip. She walked 6 miles. It's 30% of the whole distance. What's the total number that she walked? So this is set 1. We know we're starting with part over total. We know that our part is 6 because she's only walked part of it. We don't know the total amounts that she walks. And we know that this is 30 over 100. I actually don't have to simplify this. I can say that 30 divided by 5 is 6. So 100 divided by 5 is 20. X equals 20 total miles. Now, if I did simplify this, I could have said 3 times 2 is 6, and 10 times 2 also gives me 20. So there's more than one way we could have solved this. I'm just showing you one way that you could have done it. For number 2, the first 60% of the crowd at a basketball game got t-shirts as a prize. The team gave away 30 t-shirts. How many people came out to the basketball game? So we're going to do part over total. We know part of the crowd got t-shirts. We don't know the total crowd. We know that the part was 60%, and percents always go over 100. What do I do to 60 to get to 30? I divide by 2. So what do I do to 100? I divide by 2. So x equals 50 total. We can say 50 total people went to game. Okay, number 3. Casey's trying to decide on mascot. They want to be the Tigers or the Panthers. 65% of students said Tigers. 130 students said Tigers. How many students voted? Part over total. 130 is our part because only part of the students voted for Tigers. And we don't know what the total number of students who voted is yet. So our total is going to be X. We know that this is 65, and percents always go over 100. 65 times 2 is 130, so 100 times 2 tells me that 200 kids voted. Number 4. Oh, that was number 4. Sorry. Let's just flip these around. This was number 4, and I skipped number 3. Let me go back to number 3. It says a local bakery sells muffins. Every day, 42% of the muffins are blueberry. If 63 muffins are blueberry, how many do they make? I have part over total. I know that part of the blueberries they make are, part of the muffins they make are blueberry. I don't know the total number of muffins, and I know that's 42 over 100. Cannot get from 42 to 63, so I would simplify. 21 over 50 equals 63 over x. Now I can get from 21 to 63 by multiplying by 3. So 50 times 3 gives me 150 total muffins. Sorry about that mistake. Let's go direct to number 5. Number 5 says Elijah scored 16 points this year, which was 20% of the team's points scored. Part over total. I know that Elijah scored part of the team's points, not all of them. I don't know how many there are, but I know that was 20% of the total, and percents are always out of 100. Easiest way to do that is going to be cross out my zeros. 2 times 8 is 16, so 10 times 8 is going to give me my answer. X equals 80 total points. Double check and make sure that you had all the correct answers. You're now going to go to problem set 2. On problem set 2, you'll pause this video and solve them, and then we'll come back and check our answers in just a second. Okay, for set 2, number 1 says a couple placed an order at Dunkin' Donuts. They said they wanted 40% of the order to be chocolate, and they got 16 chocolate donuts. Sorry, this is set 2. So, part over total. We know that only part of the donuts they got were chocolate, so 16. We don't know the total number of donuts. We know this was 40%. Percents always go out of 100. We can simplify this by crossing out a 0. Times 4 times 4 means 40 total donuts. Make sure that you're writing your whole sentence down when you put your answers on your document. Number 2, 11 students from Wisconsin completed their assignment yesterday. Ms. Harris said that 44% of Wisconsin students finished their assignment. How many kids are in Wisconsin? Part over total, 11 finished their assignment. We don't know the total number of students. We do know that it's 44%, and percents always go out of 100. What do I do to 44 to get to 11? I divide by 4. So 100 divided by 4 is going to give me my answer. 100 divided by 4 is 25. 25 students in Wisconsin. It's kind of weak, Miss Harris. I think like 84% of Northwestern students finished their assignments. Okay, number 3, part over total. It says 19 questions correct. We don't know the total. We do know that this is 95%, and 95 goes over 100. You probably had to do some guessing and checking on this one, but you would have figured out that 95 divided by 5 is 19, because 19 times 5 is 95. So 100 divided by 5 is going to give us x. X is 20 total questions. Remember, for all of these today, we're trying to figure out what our total is. Number 4, 2 questions away from spring break. 20% of the teachers at high school moved away at the end of the year. If 10 teachers left, how many total teachers are there? So it's going to be 10 out of, we don't know how many. We know that it's 20%. Percents are over 100. 20 divided by 2 is 10. So 100 divided by 2 would give me x, 50 total teachers. And number 5, 25% of the points on Mr. Magnot's fantasy football team came from one player. That player scored 18 points. Part over total. 18 points. We don't know the total number, but we know it's 25%. Percents are out of 100. I can't get from 25 to 18, so I simplify. 1 to 4 equals 18 over x. 1 times 18 is 18, so I'm going to do 4 times 18, and x equals 72 total points, because 18 times 4 is 72. Okay, you did it. You made it. 2 questions left for your exit ticket. Make sure you press turn in with your exit ticket. You also have your quiz on Khan Academy today. Make sure that's turned in before you start your spring break, because that'll be, we'll want to make sure we have a grade in for that before you enjoy your break. Now, next week is spring break. You will have a homework assignment to do. It's similar to our regular spring break packets that you got in 5th grade, where there will be one assignment each day. It won't be like we've been doing the last couple of weeks. There will be just one assignment each day that you work on that you won't really need help with. It'll be review. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to give me a text or call, 847-769-4731. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.